Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to Storytime, Amalgam Showcase. If you missed my DC vs. Marvel video, the event resulted in the creation of a combination of the DC and Marvel universes known as the Amalgam Universe. One round of 12 books was published during the event, and a second round was published a year later with the Final Access miniseries. The miniseries are fun, but there's not much to them. Jubilee browbeats him into taking her to say goodbye to Robin, and they fight Two-Face. Access time travels around both universes and inadvertently sets up a few dream matches like the original JLA versus the original Avengers, creates a few new Amalgam characters to fight for him, that sort of thing. In the end, though, Dr. Strangefate, who is Charles Xavier with the magical training of Doctor Strange and the godlike power of Dr. Fate, argued with Access and the brothers representing both realities, and managed to secure a microscopic copy of the Amalgam Universe, which theoretically lives on to this day. Not that they've ever gone back to it in any way that I know of, but that doesn't mean there aren't sly references out there. They've snuck quite a few references to the original DC and Marvel universes in these books, as you'll see. I'll be covering a great deal of material in this one, and it's going to be a little long, so don't feel obligated to watch every one or all of it at once. I only bought the issues which interested me at the time, so feel free to scan ahead for a cover you do find interesting. Most will only get a quick summary, and some will be ignored completely, because they're bad. But some of my favorites will get a more full-featured treatment, like I usually do. But just because I skip it does not mean it's not good. I had to leave a ton of great stuff out of this one to fit it in one episode and keep it under 3 hours. Now, let's begin. Amazon is the amalgam of Storm and Wonder Woman. The role of Wonder Woman is filled by Aurora Monroe, and as she flies across the ocean with her mutant powers, she is accosted by an angry sea god. He reveals that it was he who sank the ship her parents were lost on, and he is the reason the Amazons of Paradise Island found her and raised her as their own. She had fought with her adoptive sister Diana Prince, and never more so than when she won the role of Wonder Woman. The god sank the vessel because a man had stolen a statue from one of his undersea temples. The god torments Aurora, yet she still tells him he is a fool. The man was a teacher who sought to rekindle the people's interest in the old gods, and his reward was to be destroyed by them. The god realizes his error and releases her, saying that it is not often that his kind are forced to learn lessons, and that victory should be enough for Aurora. It will have to do. Assassins is one that's just so bad I'm skipping it entirely. We have a lot to get through. One of these people is Catwoman merged with Elektra, but that's all that's worth saying. Bruce Wayne, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D, is the amalgam of Bruce Wayne and Nick Fury. Yes, Batman is amalgamated into Darkclaw too. A lot of people pop up in various ways and split identities and copies. They didn't make the writers check too closely with each other about who's using what, because it was all just for fun. They didn't want to limit anyone's creativity. The Green Skull has just been assassinated by his daughter, who has taken control of Hydra. As you'll also see in Super Soldier, the Green Skull is the amalgam of Lex Luthor and the Red Skull, and here he is Lex Luthor, poisoned and turned green by kryptonite radiation. In this world, Bruce's parents were spies killed by Hydra, so he began training young and joined the ranks of S.H.I.E.L.D. under Nick Fury. Within a short number of years, Bruce had outshone everyone and was running S.H.I.E.L.D. himself. Bruce leads his partners Moonwing and Huntress, as well as his S.H.I.E.L.D. troops by rocket pack in an attack on the Hydra base. Wayne to Helicarrier. Can you read me? Comm unit came through the crash about as well as I did.
A pity, Wayne. Your friend should be here to see me break you in half. Big talk from a junkie.
I've heard of you, Nuke.
Some kind of drug addict. Your type don't scare me. Drugs are for the weak. Not drugs, Wayne. Venom. And I am not addicted to it. I am enhanced by it. Now we shall see who is the strong and who are the weak.
Did you find the Colonel? He's not transmitting. Could that mean? It means he needs us.
Without your weapons, without your army, you are nothing!
Nuke punches Bruce with his venom-enhanced strength.
The Green Skull spent all his days creating Byzantine plots to bring about your demise. He did not possess the strength or the courage to face you himself, all because of the murder of 2 incompetent agents. I think you will be an easy kill, like your parents, maybe.
Big words coming from a steroid freak like you! Tell me, Nuke, who's the coward hiding behind his venom and big talk? I don't need guns or troops to take you down. Bruce employs his martial arts to get past Nuke's defenses. I am a weapon, and you are cannon fodder. He elbows Nuke in the neck. Maybe you need more of this poison to beat me. A lot more.
No.
Bruce overloads the venom feed.
System overloading. Heart exploding.
Nuke lashes out.
No! No!
He pulls the cable from his arm, but it's too late.
My heart. Ugh.
What happened to him?
Too much of a good thing, I guess.
I thought you were dead.
So did I, Barbara. All this death and destruction. Maybe when this is all over, I should take another look at my life. At our life.
Together? Better postpone the nuptials, gang. Feel that rumble? They're venting some kind of gas, Bruce.
This has to be the super weapon I've heard rumors about. The Skull's Planet Smasher program. Will the Skull dare? What's our next move?
Bruce defeats Madame Hydra, but her super weapon can't be stopped. The issue ends with the Hydra base exploding, seemingly killing all the main cast, and the reveal that the rumors of Green Skull's death have been greatly exaggerated. Bullets and Bracelets is the amalgam of Wonder Woman and the Punisher. Diana seems to be merged with no one, simply cast off as herself, and Steve Trevor has been merged with Frank Castle. Diana Prince and Trevor Castle led very different lives that nonetheless brought them together in the end. Diana left her island to investigate man's world, leaving her sister Aurora to care for her people. She helped the king of Wakanda, and he gave her adamantium bracelets for her service. Diana used her fighting skills and Amazon strength to clean up crime in man's world. Trevor was a soldier in Vietnam who lost his family to the mob, and in fighting them, he met Diana. Diana found Trevor bleeding to death and saved his life, becoming his angel. They fell in love and had a child, Ryan Castiglione, Frank Castle's family name before it was changed at Ellis Island. Inevitably, their differences drove them apart, until young Ryan was kidnapped. Now together, they search for answers. The trail leads to Apocalypse and Thanos, who has kidnapped the child in order to force Diana to reveal a weapon of great power to him. Trevor breaks through the window in Orion's Astroforce harness. Thanos thinks his dead son has returned for a moment, giving him pause. Trevor uses that moment to rescue Diana and free her to fight. She faces Kanto, Thanos' premier assassin. He can't bring himself to kill Diana for some reason. Then Granny Goodness threatens the baby, and Thanos blasts it with his Omega beams. Diana deduces that they did not destroy him, but rather sent him through time and space, and that their child stands grown before them now, under the name Kanto. Thanos' plan was for the child to kill parent, or vice versa, but Diana has seen through his game, and he calls an end to it, returning them to Earth and beyond. Kanto has been sent to New Asgard to live under the care of High Father Odin. His parents have arrived safely back on Earth and have decided to rekindle their love as the issue ends. I covered Dr. Strangefate in DC vs. Marvel, except for a few amalgams I cut out. Skulk is the Hulk and Solomon Grundy. Frankie Rayner is Kyle Rayner, but a girl version with fire powers, who must be someone from Marvel, I don't know. But DC already has a character who looks exactly like this in Fire, Beatriz DaCosta, which I figure the Marvel creator maybe didn't know. She also has Green Lantern constructs, which Fire does not, so there is some difference. And finally, Wanda Zatara is the White Witch, an amalgam of Zatanna and Scarlet Witch. I didn't want to bog down DC vs. Marvel at that point in the story, and I knew I could plug them in here. JLX is the amalgam of JLA and the X-Men, but they are an offshoot from a larger team that holds the place of the JLA or Avengers in the Amalgam universe that did not get its own book, called the Judgment League Avengers. You'll see them mentioned in these pages, and this book casts them as the antagonists because JLX is a team of mutants, still hated and feared even here, and the Judgment League Avengers are not. Super Soldier is the amalgam of Superman and Captain America, Darkclaw that of Batman and Wolverine. Captain Marvel is both Captain Marvels, the male one's original colors are used here. Hawkeye wears a costume like Green Arrow's, and they are merged, and Angel Hawk is the amalgam of Hawkman and the X-Man Angel. The waters of the North Atlantic churn with an icy fury, but the storming of an angry ocean is nothing against the storm in the hearts of 7 heroes. Hawkeye, disable their cruiser with your arrows. Captain Marvel, Angel Hawk, full assault. Doesn't matter who they are, what we've been through together. We've got to stop them. A league of their own. Firebird is Fire and Marvel's Flamebird, I think. The Night Creeper is the Creeper mixed with Nightcrawler. Mercury is Quicksilver merged with Impulse, Bart Allen. Apollo is Cyclops mixed with the Ray. Wraith is Obsidian combined with Gambit. And Runaway is the Titan Gypsy and the X-Man Rogue. Aquaman and Submariner have formed the Mariner. For the Judgment League Avengers have never fought so painful a battle as this one against their former teammates. The Judgment League Avengers engage in fierce battle with the JLX who are trying to escape in a large ship. Super Soldier, watch Firebird!
Ah!
We warned you. Just leave us alone. Let us do what we have to do. Ollie, get Apollo. The rest of the mutants can wait. Fast shooting, Mr. Barton, but not faster than Mercury.
Stand clear, Runaway. If they think...
Stay out of this, Mariner. We need you too much.
The King of Atlantis and first among mutants will not allow others to fight his battles. I'm the reason you turned against your friends, and I will defend this JLX.
No, this is about birthright, not honor. If you're lucky, they will lay a hand on you. And neither will I. Let Wraith run the gauntlet.
Listen to her. Runaway's getting more violent, more strident every day. Is it this crisis that brought out the worst in her? Or does she bring out the darkness in me? Sorry, Canary.
God, the cold.
The Wraith takes down Canary with his darkness. Night Creeper?
Been using those wings as feather dusted, bird brain?
Night Creeper teleports onto Angel Hawk's back and steers him into the ship.
I think you used a nice deep bird bath. Missed.
So far, Apollo, we've tried to understand this betrayal, but now you've gone too far. How can you understand until you've lived the life of a mutant? We've given up trying to make you see why this must be done. Now we can only do what... Ray, behind you. A voice warns Apollo about Darkclaw attacking from behind. Back off, Darkclaw. Apollo turns and blasts him in time. I owe you one, Mr. X. We all owe the Mariner. Ray, we have to make a dive. Drive the JLA away before they can guess our destination.
Kiss your powers goodbye, Goliath.
Runaway, we were friends.
Were.
Mercury's been catching every one of Hawkeye's arrows, but Captain Marvel punches the ship and he misses a step. An arrow hits Runaway in the head.
Oh.
Runaway. All right, Mariner, we locked you up once, but never again. Mr. X, I'm down. Then play your trump card, Warren, now. Ah! My back! Huh? You broke my...
Warren! I didn't want this!
None of them do. And in an instant, all combat freezes as Captain Marvel dives desperately to save his teammate. Blast it! Do you see what you've done? What we've done? You imprisoned an innocent man so you could turn him over to the mutant haters. What else could we do but protect our own kind? He's alive, but he needs medical attention. Now! You played your part well, Angel Hawk. Thanks to you projecting real pain into my mind, Mr. X. Yeah, thanks a ton. Your secret is secure, Warren. No one but me knows you're a mutant. Be glad of that. We'll go with you, Marvel. There's been enough damage here. I won't see the JLA destroyed by this. There'll be time to capture Mariner later, if his guilt can be proven. After all the battles I've waged to protect my oceans from your depredations, you surface dwellers display more compassion than I'd have guessed. You including whoever framed you for torching those rocks on tankers? The truth will out. Quickly now. Following a trail of clues and with the help of Mr. X, the Mariner leads his new team to the long-lost city of Atlantis, only to find it deserted. Well, almost deserted. There is air here, but that air is still and silent as a tomb. My city! My people! This cannot be! After all this time, I cannot have lost them again! You did this. Surface dwellers, poisoning my oceans, driving my people. Wait, Mariner, there may be clues to where they've gone.
Not all of us on the surface are murderers and bigots. If we stand together, nothing can...
No, not here. Not Will Magnus. You're no more astonished than I, Apollo. I thought I'd remove the Mariner with my little tanker trick, but here he is again, with his pet muties in tow. Well, I still have the crown, and even if this is a dead end, I'll find your missing people one day, and live out my dream, to exterminate every mutant, man, woman, and child, on the earth and in the sea. Then begin with the first mutant, Magnus. Begin with me, and continue to the next if you survive. The Mariner charges at Will Magnus, but he is stopped by Jocasta.
No, you will not hurt my precious duck.
Thank you, dear Jocasta. And now, Sentinels, strike! Spread out. Don't give them a target. Firebird, to the air.
Now, you're mine, Magnus. I'm gonna drain you dry, leave you a vegetable, and love every second of it.
Then it's true. When she touches me, she absorbs some of my inexhaustible darkness.
There's no harm to me, but it's driving her mad. Flesh and bone.
Rum!
Jocasta hits Runaway with her energy blast. No! I did this to her, tainted her light, and I won't let anyone hurt her again! Wraith destroys Jocasta with his charged darkness. Jocasta! I'll find Runaway, Magnus, and be back for you! The Mariner crashes into a sentinel, tearing it apart with his axe. Fellow mutants, follow Wraith! Fight not from fear, but from rage! B, get back! The hit you took! Won't keep me out. There's enough rage in it all to keep fighting to the end. Firebird destroys another sentinel with her flames. Mercury's helping Apollo. No one to save her but me. There's nothing I can do. At least, not in that weak form. Mr. X transforms into a large green alien and saves Runaway from the falling rubble. Man, what kind of vitamins are you taking, X?
So, that's X's secret.
Probing registers flat scan on target. No mutant gene.
But powerful nonetheless. No matter, the endgame will be mine yet. Away, sentinels! There may yet be life for our dear Jocasta, and there will be death for mutant kind.
I'm going after him. I'll hunt him to the ends of the earth, and when he's mine, your black and Cajun blood will have to be faster than mine, Wraith. Stop! This city and its dome have been damaged. We're to find any trace of the vanished Atlantean's trail. It must be now. Who are you to tell us what to do? What are you? I am John Johns. I'm the last survivor of the Martian race, known as the Skrull. I've been hiding on your world for years with the aid of my shape-shifting powers. I know what it's like to be an outcast, alone. When I learned of mutants and their persecution, I saw a wrong that needed to be righted. And two, I saw a community, one that might be mine, a place I might belong. At last. Belong? How? You're not a mutant. You're not even human. To you surface dwellers, am I not an alien as well? Are all of you not aliens to the rest of mankind? How can you pass on the bigotry under which you have suffered? This man has led us well. I, for one, will follow him further. Somewhere in this city there must rest the secret of why the Atlanteans departed, and where they've gone. Follow me, and I will do all I can to help you find them. We're with you, Johns, or X, or whatever you want to be called. We're with you. For now. Next, Apocalypso. Legends of the Dark Claw is the amalgamation of Wolverine and Legends of the Dark Knight, the most artistic Batman title. Larry Hama was the best and longest-serving Wolverine writer, and Jim Ballant was a popular Batman artist, best known for his work on Catwoman. The amalgams weren't only a mixing of characters, but often of talents from both sides of the fence. Most people worked for both at one time or another, but exclusivity was very much a thing in demand as well, especially for top talent. It just shows the spirit of cooperation and mutual respect that drove this entire project.
Black and white and red all over. Doesn't take a detective to figure out where your clue is pointing to, Hyena. But how's the Gotham Gazette printing plan fit into your nefarious scheme? That's for me to know and you to find out, Dark Claw. Aren't you curious as to why I dropped your hint about where I was going to strike next? Not much.
Dark Claw slashes Hyena.
I don't expect you're going to tell me anyway.
Aw. Hyena kicks Dark Claw.
It's no fun if I just tell you. Whack.
Hyena kicks Dark Claw.
This isn't 20 questions. You were always such a human to stick in the mud. So inflexible.
The two fight off the catwalk down to the printing press floor.
You never want to play.
Hyena topples machinery onto Dark Claw.
Ugh. Good thing I have a mutant healing factor.
Hey, old man, your light function readings are looking kind of scronky.
Keep your eye on the horizon and check your six, Sparrow. The hyena's heading for the roof, so be prepared to cover me.
Roger that. And save a piece of that giggling geek for me. Sparrow's the amalgam of Jubilee and Robin.
Eat frolic frags, Cape Man.
Hyena throws bombs at Dark Claw.
I thought you wanted to play.
Oh, I do.
My choice. How about tag?
Am I it? Dark Claw tackles Hyena out the window. Through a glass, darkly.
You're about to be a was.
Oh my, how uncharacteristically droll. Have you been staying up late and watching the Comedy Channel? The two fight in midair high above the street. They land on a ledge.
This is the end of your stand-up routine, Hyena. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't just cut your throat and drop you into traffic.
No alternate side of the street body dumping on weekdays?
Weak.
Oh, I've got a good one.
How's about my pack shows up and blows you away?
Hyena's henchmen fire at Darklaw from the street. Step back, boss. We'll waste his face.
Keep blasting. He's running out of roof.
Darklaw flees across the rooftop, dodging gunfire. A bomb explodes beneath him.
Oh, no more roof. Darklaw gonna fall down. Go boom.
Darklaw leaps and grabs the wheel of the Darklaw copter.
I'm no putty-tat, Hyena.
You could say that again, old man.
Don't call me that.
Look, you stuck me with Sparrow when I wanted to call myself Death Urge Overdrive.
Sparrow's a perfectly good name. What are you doing?
Coming around for a strafing run.
Kick over the cyclic. Those things have missiles.
Heat seekers. How did you...
Hang on.
The copter arcs to avoid the missiles.
Yow, that was close. Where's the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier zooming off to, huh?
Good question.
Later, the huntress, Carol Danvers, breaks into the penthouse apartment of Logan, famous billionaire orphan with a shadowy past, only to find a closet full of his Darklaw costumes. Logan finds her there and decides to just tell her the whole story and hope he convinces her of the need to keep it quiet.
Don't panic on me, Miss Danvers. This is a pneumatic tube with an air cushion at the bottom. We're going deep below the bedrock of Gotham, down to a layer that only 2 other people have ever seen, or even heard of. Welcome to the Barrow.
That portrait. It's the same as the one in your bedroom. Are they your parents?
I was 5 years old when they were shot down in front of me by an armed robber. I was sent to live with my uncle in Alberta, up near Buffalo Wood. He was a Mountie. Some poachers ambushed him and left him to die in the snow. The RCMP sent me to a home run by nuns. As soon as I was old enough, I signed up for the Air Force.
Royal Canadian Air Force Security. Creed was in the same outfit. That was the link. That's where you...
Logan and Creed were both part of the Weapon X program. The idea was to create a killing machine with no compassion. With Logan, they failed, but with Hyena, they succeeded.
Hey, what's this damaged bimbo doing in here?
She called in her markers at Langley and used her push at DOD to access the banks of the super craze under Maryland. She was sniffing for Creed and came up with Logan.
This is totally uncool and unacceptable. We can't let her walk out of here knowing about all this.
What do you want me to do, Sparrow? Take her out in the woods and lose her?
Well, yeah.
You're real, kid. You tied on the helicopter in the roof hanger?
Tied down and secured.
So you already hacked your way into the typesetting computer at the Gotham Gazette.
Piece of cake. The access code turned out to be Gutenberg.
You did good, darling.
Gee.
Hyena changed the Gotham Gazette's headline to be a clue indicating his attack on Air Force One and the President. 20 minutes later, at Gotham International Airport. Air Force One, you have priority clearance to take off from runway 2. Roger that, Tower. Do we have a green light from security? Negative. We have an unidentified helicopter over the field on an intercept with AF-1. That thing didn't show up on the radar. It must be running a third-generation passive ECM suite. We have a bogey intercept. Abort the takeoff. We can't. Too much velocity, not enough runway. We're committed. Situation red. Secure the quarterback.
Pull alongside and match speed, Barrow. Pull alongside and match speed, Sparrow.
It's gonna be rough, Claw. That thing's putting out turbulence like a spastic whale. Tell the slut to take her shot.
Go for it, Huntress.
I will, as soon as your juvenile assistant gets us in the correct alignment. This is as good as it gets, Wilhelmina Tell. Been reading your clip notes, eh?
Just shoot.
Pwang.
Huntress fires a grappling hook with a line and hits the plane's landing gear. Darklaw makes his way across.
Back away. I need to clear the rotors.
You see that thing? It looks like the Clawcopter. Anybody can go bad or psycho. Darklaw wasn't wound too tight to begin with.
Gears are tracting. Have to get up in the well before the covers close and lock.
He's climbing up the nose wheel.
Good thing aircraft aluminum is no match for adamantium.
I want the quarterback locked down tight at the tail of the plane. This way, Mr. President. Sanderson, check out all the lavatories. Will do. Security, he's in the cockpit.
I'm here to warn you. Hyena's making an attempt on the President's life.
The only costume wacko I see around here is you, buddy.
You fools. He's probably already on this plane. You don't know how.
Freeze. Don't move an inch.
I'm not the threat. You have to search.
Blow him away. Sanderson, you checked the lavatories? Checking them now.
This is no way to get ahead, lad. This would probably put your career in the toilet. That is, if you weren't already dead.
Hyena tears his way through the metal of the bathroom and machine guns an agent.
Surprise, surprise. Here's a little campaign contribution. I hope it doesn't exceed the guidelines.
Grenade!
Gas!
Get the President down on the deck and strap him down. I'll deal with the Hyena.
That old mutant healing factor's still going strong, eh?
And you're still as crazy as ever.
Crazy is as crazy does, Logan. I won.
There's no way you can vent all this poison gas out of the plane in time to save the president. Shh, shh. You lose, hyena. You forgot about the adamantium.
Darkclaw rips a hole in the side of the plane, venting the gas.
The explosive decompression blew us both out of the plane and sucked out most of the poison. The president's saved.
But you're not, because you didn't bring a parachute, and I did.
Hyena deploys his parachute, and Darkclaw begins to fall.
Better stop flapping your arms, Logan.
He's falling, Sparrow. I see him.
Hope that kid's got her timing down.
Hope the old man's got his timing down.
Sparrow banks the clawcopter to the side. Darkclaw falls past the rotors and grabs the landing gear.
Did I do good?
You did aces, kid. Now circle around and let me get another crack at the hyena.
Next issue. This claw, this crossbow. Magneto and the Magnetic Men is an amalgam of the concepts of Magneto and DC's Metal Men. They're androids with personalities, and here Magneto has given these the minds of slain mutant allies. A robot from the future, Sinestron, appears and attacks Magneto and his team as they are exploring the mutant island of Genosha. The Magnetic Men find hundreds of mutants held captive underneath the island while Magneto fights the robot, finally finding a way to use his electromagnetic fields to shut it down, despite its defenses against him. Magneto ends the issue by talking about his need for family, despite his refusal to ever endanger another living mutant. Speed Demon is the amalgam of Etrigan the Demon and Ghost Rider, and also kind of the Flash. It's not an exact process, as you'll also see elements of Green Lantern present in the opening. Gotham City. Crime Alley. We find the drunken, disbarred, and disgraced Hal Jordan of Starbrand Corps.
Get away from me! You framed me! Betrayed the Corps! Killed Sinestro! But you and the Guardians won't get me! Uatu! Oh, but I will, Hal. You are the last of the Corps. With your passing, the dream ends. All the universe believed you to be the traitor, and we had the Corps scour the universe for the madman Jordan. One by one, I slit their throats. Now sit still and die like a good boy, for a new universe looms on the horizon. Even as the last words fall from Uatu's mouth, a red and yellow blur cuts through the darkness of the alley, and standing between the Guardian and his intended victim is Speed Demon. Demon's Knight. What's this? Madman Jordan has a defender? If it is a fight you want, flaming-headed friend, it is a fight you will get. No time for a fight. I say, good night. Speed Demon breathes fire and incinerates Uatu. Thanks, whoever you are. By the spirits of old, you are Hal Jordan, I was told. Yeah, that's right. Who told you? I must remark to the side you have walked, that lies in the dark. Got no time for bad poetry. I've got some blue men to bury. Many murders have you committed, it must be admitted. To this you must not say fie. Fie? Well then, now you must die. Speed Demon breathes fire and Hal Jordan is no more. Back in his circus trailer, Blaze Allen transforms from his demonic form of Speed Demon back into human form, but he never expected his nephew Wally to see this side of him. Wally asks him why he is the Speed Demon. He explains that his wife Iris was stolen from him just moments after their wedding, and when he prayed for a chance to save her, his wish was granted by dark powers, and his soul was bonded to Etrigan the Demon. His enemy is the Night Spectre, and he gathers souls of power in his sanctum in order to remake the universe, and only one soul remains. Speed Demon must claim it before his foe. That soul is the Green Goblin, and both Night Spectre and Speed Demon try to absorb his soul while fighting each other, but he evades them. With his mask off, we see that Norman Osborn has been merged with Harvey Dent, and the Green Goblin hides two faces under his mask. Speed Demon tries to stop the Night Spectre with water, to no avail. The Night Spectre summons Arrowcaster to attack the demon. But Etrigan breathes fire and destroys him. As they fought, the Goblin has escaped yet again. Back at the circus, Wally has discovered that the wizard Merlin was the one who bonded his uncle to the demon, and it was Blaze himself who caused his wife to die by first spurning the Night Spectre's desire for a human host. Merlin gave him what he needed to fight back, and he now makes the same offer to Wally. Inside the Night Spectre's sanctum, the beings of Blaze and Etrigan are separated, and the Goblin holds Blaze helpless. A second Speed Demon bursts in through the window, and he puts an end to the Goblin. Of course, it is Wally. While the Speed Demon has stopped the Night Spectre from owning Hell, he has set his sights on Earth, and now has a human host like Etrigan himself,
It seems that in life, Etrigan was once the man Jay Garrick, the first Flash in DC, and his soul has been held captive there for generations. Along with the soul of Blaze's wife, they are freed with the Sanctum's destruction. The two speed demons speed back to Gotham, leaving twin trails of flame in the dark night. The issue ends with Blaze accepting Wally as his sidekick, and with the revelation that the demon Wally's bonded to is the Night Spectre himself. Spider-Boy is the amalgamation of Spider-Man and Superboy. Deep in the heart of Project Cadmus, Spider-Boy fights the escaped Bizarnage, the amalgam of Bizarro and Carnage. Spider-Boy lures the monster into lunging at him, then dodges and opens up a containment cell, trapping Bizarnage. Also stationed at Project Cadmus, the Challengers of the Fantastic thank him. They have an issue in the second round of amalgams, and they're the combination of the Fantastic Four and DC's classic team of 4 Daredevils, the Challengers of the Unknown. Spider-Boy recounts his origin, an attempt to replicate the super soldier process based on the manipulation of gravity. Spider-Boy awoke when test subject Peter Parker died in the experiment, and found he could change the focus of his personal gravity and cling to walls. He also had some super strength, but it didn't allow him to save General Thunderbolt Ross, who he saw as an uncle from a robber's bullet. He made the costume and web shooter gun, and the rest was history.
Spider-Boy, has the very best action toys. Top 10 show, games and bid. Gotta love the Iraq Kid. Whoa, they're definitely singing my song.
Roar! My first taste of freedom!
Help, get help, top of the tank. Came out of the river, can't stop it.
Spider-Boy!
Come on, King, you know what the doc said about between meal snacks? It looks like they were right. Put on a few pounds, haven't you?
Spider-Boy swing kicks the giant lizard.
Roar!
He is thrown away.
What's the story? Going from King Lizard to Lounge Lizard? Don't tell me you got a white sequin suit and a booking in Vegas. I'm warning you, pal. Those audiences lead you a lot. Ah!
He's hit by a tail.
No, but I will feast on your bones.
Suddenly the lizard is fired upon.
New York Special Crimes Unit monster, you're under arrest. Thompson, Leach, Barnes, keep him away from the kid, and keep at him till he collapses.
You got it, Sam. This time old Fin Fang's doomed. Annoying humans. You cannot stand against me.
The lizard smashes the ground. Spider-Boy webs him in the eyes.
Huh?
Who'd want to, King? I mean, has anyone talked to you about personal hygiene? Flossing can be a good start. And I can still see some breakfast stuck between your teeth. Oh, and there's something in your eye.
I'll snap your webbing just like I'll snap you, Spider-Boy.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm running away. Look, here I go.
You cannot escape me.
Spider-Boy swings away with his web shooter, and the lizard chases him.
Thanks, Roxy. No Scaliato's gonna stop Brooklyn Bonds. I don't know how you do it, Sarge. Ain't like you're still one of World War II's young commandos, you know. Captain McCullough, I'm sure those two metas are working together.
Spare me your latest Spider-Boy conspiracy, Flash Thompson. If it even comes close to making sense, I just hop the next plane back to Hawaii. King Lizard smashes his way down the street, chasing Spider-Boy.
I will squash you, Spider-Boy. Swallow you whole.
For once, I understand why you're so hungry, King. I mean, you're a growing boy. Growing fast, I might add. That's kind of a new look for you, isn't it? And New York will have a new look if I don't figure out what's making the King live large here. Pym's the big man at Cadmus. I can't exactly call it consult right. Don't. You know, there's a reason I never earned my JLA Junior Detective Merit Badge. Sue Storm said he tore right through Pym's particle accelerator. And what happens when something's exposed to those pesky Pym particles? Big trouble. Luckily, I got just what I need right here. Somewhere. Let's see, Phantom Negative Zone Projector, Invisible Force Field Belt, Mother Cube. Spider-Boy finds the right weapon, Doc Palmer's White Dwarf Ray, just in time, and lays a trap for King Lizard on the roof of the building. He launches the overloading White Dwarf Star Ray into the lizard's mouth, and it shrinks him to subatomic size. Spider-Boy is thanked by Dr. Octopus. Spider-Boy, I heard some sort of explosion as I arrived. Are you all right? Sure, Ock. Just saved Manhattan and trashed a one-of-a-kind invention, that's all. Ah, again. Well, they don't call me the friendly neighborhood Spider-Boy for nothing, you know. I gotta pay him. Save your witticisms, my boy. You don't need to impress me. Yeah? And who do I... Oh, no. I know why you're here now. You're to tell me I'm just a clone, right? Please tell me that's why you're here. Of course you're a clone, but I want you to meet someone I'm sure you'll have a lot in common with. Spider-Boy, allow me to introduce Mary Jane Watson, also known as Insect Queen. Face it, Spider, you just hit the jackpot.
Need we say it? Continued. Super Soldier is the amalgam of Superman and Captain America. Space rocket landed in 1938. No one knew where it had come from. Nothing in it survived.
Still, the U.S. Army took cellular samples from the corpse within, experimented with them, and, by the time World War II began, added them to their experimental super soldier formula, hoping to create a champion of liberty. They injected the formula into a 4F volunteer, one whose name I cannot here reveal, and exposed him to a massive jolt of solar radiation. Given what they knew of the alien cells, the scientists had some clue as to how this might affect the test subject, but no one expected him to be granted powers and abilities so far beyond those of mortal men. That wasn't their only surprise. They found me in the shadows, eager to make my mark as a cub reporter. Fortunately, we Olsons talked fast. I struck a deal. I wouldn't rat out the project if the government made me the official press flack of Super Soldier. With my help, Allied troopers and Nazi warmongers alike read of Super Soldier's every move, witnessed his every victory. By March of 1942, Super Soldier had the war all but won nearly single-handedly. Until the rise of Ultra Metallo, a mighty robot energized by a mysterious power source, Ultra Metallo made a beeline for Washington, D.C., only to be intercepted over the North Atlantic. As I watched, Super Soldier and his foe locked one another in a death grip and plummeted beneath the icy waves, never to be seen again. America's champion, my friend, was gone, leaving me with the story of the century and an ungodly moral dilemma. Should I report it? My allegiance was to the truth. Journalists deal in facts. And yet, I knew what a blow news of Super Soldier's death would be to Allied morale. With Lex Luthor still months away from perfecting the war-ending K-bombs, the Allies had to hold strong. In the end, I made my choice. It was the hardest decision I ever had to make.
Sharon Crater?
I'm sorry, Miss Carter. Really sorry. Please don't be mad.
Oh, for Kent, you spineless worm. Sometimes I think you paste my name up wrong just to get my attention.
Jimmy? Underestimated me. Those rats.
Chief!
Learned a few things about fighting from Super Soldier. Jim! He's falling. Somebody catch him. Jim, what happened to you? Who did this to you? Answer me.
My friend, Hydra, kidnapped me, brought me in.
In? Into where?
For Washington at 4. Washington at 4.
Hello, police. We need an ambulance, fast.
Don't move him. Chief, can you hear me?
Hydra, what could they want from the chief? We're an investigative paper, for God's sake. Could somebody get to the bottom of this? Kent slips away and makes a change to Super Soldier. Secret of the K-bombs. Damn you, Luthor. 5 decades. That's how long I was frozen until the JLA found me, thawed me out, into a world without justice, into a world where I'm gradually getting weaker while you and your secret Hydra cartel grow stronger and stronger. The public thinks you're a reclusive saint. Only I know that you were behind Ultra Metallo, that you wanted me out of the way so you could profit from the war in your own timetable. Rather than try to prove it, I went toe-to-toe with your creation, armed with an overconfidence that cost me victory, and worse, cost the world the chance to be free of your evil for the next half-century. That's a shame I'll make up for if it takes my dying breath. Washington at 4 o'clock, now. There's no sign of Hydra. None at all. What signal are you trying to give me with your watch, old friend? Washington at 4. Washington Monument. At 4 o'clock, cast a sundial shadow directly at that building. Super Soldier crashes through the wall of the Hydra base.
Super Soldier?
What did you want with Olsen? What did you do to him? Talk, do you hear me? Talk! Super Soldier knocks out the Hydra agents.
Actually, they haven't much to say.
Luthor!
After all, I'm the mastermind here, and you may quote me.
Count on it. I can't believe you'd be caught here, exposed in Hydra headquarters.
After a lifetime of posing as a tragic philanthropic recluse beloved by the masses. It would seem risky, wouldn't it? It must be thrilling for you. I imagine you'll want to tell the whole world.
I can guarantee they'll read about it in the papers.
I hardly think so.
Super Soldier is knocked down.
Look what we stumbled across last week while trawling the North Seas. Imagine how shocked I was. But then, you probably can. Once I had Ultra Metallo back, I knew Olsen's 50-year claim that you destroyed him was bunk. That he was a more formidable foe than we'd realized.
Olsen's journals told the rest. Metallo is still perfectly capable of carrying out his original objective. Think back. Do you remember what it was?
Ultra Metallo punches Super Soldier out of the hole he crashed in through.
As if it were yesterday, and Luthor knows it. Ultra Metallo has a bomb planted in its chest. The moment he reaches the White House, it detonates, and Washington, D.C. turns to ash. Fight on, Super Soldier. You can hear me, can't you? Of course you can, with what's left of your super hearing. And I can see you through Metallo's cameras from the safety of my bunker. I suppose this might be an entertaining battle. Once before you fought him to a standstill when you were at your physical peak.
Super Soldier breaks the robot's glass dome, but the robot smacks Soldier across the city.
Once before.
The soldier lands in a pile of pipes and bricks. He soon recovers and attacks the robot again, caving in its chest plate.
If I can just get to the bomb.
He peels the metal apart, but is driven back in pain as green light pours out from the hole.
Yeah! Hurts, doesn't it? Radiation's a bear. Uranium? Plutonium? No. The robot's driven by a meteorite that landed near that old alien rocket ship. I like to call it the Kansas Lode, Green K for short. For the longest time, I didn't know what to do with it. I injected some into my bloodstream, which prolonged my miserable life. Created my K-bombs with the rest. But there's still enough inside Metallo to create a mother of K-bomb explosions. Ugh, as you'll see.
Again, he is knocked into the lead pipes, but doesn't yet understand why that grants him a reprieve from the K radiation. He charges the robot from behind with his shield.
Nice try.
Ultra Metallo skips the soldier across the reflecting pool like a stone, and he lands in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
You were so close. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And radiation. You can't stop me. I've waited half a century for the opportunity to batter the door down. Once the Oval Office becomes ground zero, America will happily turn to Lex Luthor and his fortune for leadership and aid. And as for you has-been, well, I only regret that you have but one life to lose for your country.
Super Soldier flies away from the robot.
What? You're running away? Beautiful. At last, everyone gets to see Super Soldier's true colors. Red, white, and yellow. Onward, Metallo. Onward!
Ultra Metallo strides across the White House lawn as the Secret Service fire on it to no effect. Call the army. We have to stop it. Bing, bong. Not a chance. The military won't make it in time. It's moving too fast. Wait. Look. Up in the sky. Suddenly, a large pipe smashes through the robot's chest.
The pipes. The ones I landed in whenever Metallo batted me aside. They were lead. There it protected me from the K radiation. Now, with Metallo pitted like an olive, I can trap the K-bomb inside the lead and throw it. Up, and away. No! To hell with you, soldier. I won't be defeated like this. Do you hear me? I'll blow the bomb yet.
I wouldn't if I were you.
And why not? You're still weak. You can't hold me back.
Fine. The bomb crashes through the ceiling and lands at Luthor's feet. Be my guest.
No! It's not fair. I waited 50 years for my chance to take you down. 50 years!
That makes two of us, Luthor. Let's go. Daily Planet. Luthor exposed behind Washington attack. Exclusive by James Olsen.
Nice work, Chief. I always knew there was something fishy about Luthor.
Yeah. You nailed him, boss. They say his empire is crumbling from the fallout. Fallout. The secret of my growing weakness. The fallout from Luthor's K-bombs has permeated the world, creating a blanket of radiation that harms only me. In time, who knows what effect it might. Psst, Kent, thanks. You okay? Let it go for now, Clark. Concentrate on the victory. Jim felt guilty for too long about inventing news all those years ago. By reporting the inside story on Luthor, he's more than redeemed himself. Good work, partner. We can both rest well, for the moment. Still, the war against Hydra isn't over. Luthor's forces will no doubt rise again to plague mankind. But the day that war begins anew, the front lines will belong to Super Soldier. The battle never ends. X-Patrol is the amalgam of X-Force and Doom Patrol. X-Force at this time were primarily known as Cable's militant mutant faction, willing to be more proactive and brutal than the X-Men. And the Doom Patrol were a group of heroes thrown together by circumstance and accident rather than gaining their powers other ways. Shatterstar Fire is the amalgam of... do I even have to say this? Okay, Shatterstar and Starfire. Beastling is Beast and Garth, who you probably know from Teen Titans, and don't even know he was also in Doom Patrol once upon a time. Pharaoh Man appears to be Robot Man and Colossus. Elastigirl is the Wasp for no reason, and Rita Farr, who's just Elastigirl. This one's pretty bad on the story front, but it had characters I thought you might want to see. Niles Cable is the amalgam of Cable and Dr. Niles Calder, the Xavier of the Doom Patrol. Dr. Doomsday is too obvious to... No? It's in the contract? Okay, he's the amalgam of Dr. Doom and Doomsday. His plan here revolves around obtaining what the amalgams consider inferior, splintered versions of themselves from the original universes to fight for him. I will admit the concept of the mind of Dr. Doom and the body of Doomsday is incredibly terrifying. I wish they could have done more with him rather than just tease actual storylines. He breaks Niles Cable's back to mirror the Doctor's infirmity in the DC universe. The issue in this round of amalgams ends with Niles revealing his injury, and the fact that that was not in his time-traveling plans. The second round of amalgams came out 1 year later with the Second Access miniseries, and very few books had any direct connection to the previous round. The few that do are more presenting another snapshot further along the timeline than continuing anything set up in the first round. For example, Dark Claw Adventures is set in the cartoon universe of the Kid Show. It follows the style of the Batman animated series' actual comic spin-off The Batman Adventures, while Super Soldier chose to do a reprint of a classic story from the 40s, so neither even touches on their previous incarnations. Anyway, if I've already covered a concept in the first round, I probably won't be going too deep into it again. I want to focus on the new entries. Bat-Thing is the amalgam of Man-Bat and Man-Thing, both monsters in their respective universes, but with a deeper morality and purpose that most people are unaware of. This comic focuses on Detective Bullock, who appears to be chased and hunted by the mysterious Bat-Thing as he goes about his police work. Bullock seems to be at its mercy when it flies over him and attacks his assailant instead, and it is revealed that Bat-Thing retains more of his humanity than anyone realized, and was protecting Bullock all along. As I said, Challengers of the Fantastic is the amalgam of the Fantastic Four, and the Challengers of the Unknown, who are just a team of human daredevils with no power, who felt they were living on borrowed time, and so felt more comfortable taking risks. That was really all it took back then. They were a pretty old team from the Golden Age. Sue, Ace, Storm, fearless S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Reed, Prof, Richards, dynamic science genius. Johnny, Red Storm, daredevil youth. Ben, Rocky Grimm, two-fisted senator. These are people of reckless courage who seek out and defy the fantastic which lurks in mysterious places, grimly coiled. They are the world's greatest death cheaters. Challengers of the Fantastic. Brought to you by the men who live on borrowed time when it comes to deadlines. Before we start our fantastic tale, let us go back to the momentous day when it all began. S.H.I.E.L.D. holding. Cosmic ray penetration, 0.004%. You hear that, Victor? We did it! Future space flights will be safe from possible cosmic mutation. Not that I had any doubts, or we never would have brought along Senator Grimm and Sue's young brother.
This is totally awesome, sis. Routine data orbital, Johnny.
I only wish you were here with us, Victor. And chance something happening to my good looks, Reed? No. Someone had to remain at base to monitor this secret mission. Wish it was me, Von Doom. Maybe now is the time to tell you guys this trip's hush-hush only till we land. Then we'll get it electronically blasted across the globe live on that blasted Heroes TV show. Orders of the President himself. A lot of hot air and hoo-ha if you ask me. Richards couldn't have perfected that shielding without me. And now he'll get the glory? Never.
Guess this is our 15 minutes of fame, eh, Victor?
Yes, Reed. I, too, can't wait to see you four plastered across the globe, as the Senator put it. Autogyro's malfunctioning, Victor. Override and correct from base.
Victor? We've lost him. All re-entry systems dead. S.H.I.E.L.D. must not be as strong as we thought.
Let me give you a hand, Ace. After all, if you're going to attempt a crash landing, you'll need all the help you can get. See, when I was flying back in the war, we always did a good landing. Well, any landing you could walk away from.
We're alive? This is fantastic. Yeah, and tons better than that roller coaster at Happy Land. Let's do it again.
Oh, sure thing, Red. Except maybe next time we'll try defusing a nuclear bomb just for a little variety.
I think all three of you are right. We've been given a second chance at life. Why not use it to better mankind? By challenging the fantastic.
The four put their hands together.
We're there, sis. Hey, doesn't this almost look like an hourglass?
Why not, Red? We gotta be living on borrowed time.
Indeed. And so were born the world's greatest death cheaters. And so, one day, at their headquarters at Project Cadmus, comes...
Uatu, the Guardian! Fear not, Professor Richards. I am not the menace about which Agent Storm spoke. While I have pledged non-interference since regaining my sanity, something has come to my attention that forces me to break that vow. Dire news which I hope will repay the debt I owe your quartet for the fantastic challenge you undertook to cure me using the Mother Cube.
During Amalgam's amazing Final Onslaught miniseries, of course.
Yeah? Well, here's a bright idea, Big Blue. If you got something to say, say it. We're talking the end of the world here. This ain't no time for filibusters or fancy speeches.
I'm certain Uatu will tell us when he's ready, Ben. Not one moment, but Galactiac is coming! At the Baxter building, the team finds the staff unconscious, and soon the Silver Racer arrives. The amalgam of Silver Surfer and the Black Racer, the death figure of the new gods. He delivers a prophecy that Galactiac will fall when a challenger dies, and he has come to collect that soul. Chapter 2. The Power of Galactiac.
Good Lord, this is fantastic!
Guess it really makes it a job for you-know-who, huh?
No sweat, Red. Just tell this overgrown action figure how many forms he's gotta fill out building something like this in Manhattan, and he won't be able to get out of town fast enough.
I fear Galactiac is beyond our laws, Ben. Let's hope he's not beyond listening to reason.
Galactiac, hear me! How can you destroy our world? A world so full of life! Surely there are other uninhabited planets that can replenish your energy cells?
Native life forms. Fascinating. You have been misinformed. I do not completely obliterate any planet I raise. I miniaturize a section of it to preserve, to study. In this case, I have chosen the site you call New York City.
Take Latkovia, you big bug collector. Maybe even New Jersey. Just leave the rest alone.
He gets nothing, Rocky. I'm calling in a shield strike. Yeah, strange. My comlink's dead.
That is correct, female. I have surrounded this area with an impenetrable heavy energy shell. Nothing from this planet will enter or leave it until my work is done. Uatu summons Johnny Storm for a special task essential to victory, and tells him to prepare for a fantastic journey. June Masters pleads with the Silver Racer to remember his humanity and help them save the planet.
How about we take a vote? All in favor of his destruction say aye. All those against say, ugh. It's clobbering time.
Ben pulls a giant cord out of Galactiac's machine.
You have succeeded in gaining my attention, Earthling. You have also succeeded in arousing my wrath.
Ah! Rocky!
Ben is hit with Galactiac's eye-beams. Across town, ruler of Latkovia, Dr. Doomsday watches and listens.
Senator Grimm has been hit. Stunning shots of the battle by Vicky Shelton. Silver Racer sighted. We now go to Asgardian expert Sigurd O'Rain.
And plans a new revenge against the man who robbed him of his rightful glory many times, starting with the cosmic ray shielding years ago. As you can see, I found the name you called this life form quite evocative.
I'll be super amalgamated.
Galactiac's ray turned Rocky into some kind of...
Chapter 3. Four-armed thing.
He's little more than a mindless minion dedicated to death and destruction. Galactiac's personal punisher.
Roll with the shockwaves.
The four-armed monster smashes the ground and tears apart the wall.
60-foot drop to titanium flooring. Plan Command D, Reed.
Good call, Sue. That should give me enough time to figure out how to turn this situation to our advantage. Although, it might not be as easy as it sounds.
Whoa, close one. The next floater disc better res in soon or old Red Storm's gonna be in a red shirt. Back up, Beta Ray bullets. You're way too first level to take on yours truly.
Johnny dips and dives through a black void filled with lasers, firing back with flames from a backpack and flamethrower.
How am I doing, Uatu? Got high score yet?
This is no game, boy, although your arcade abilities were one of your unique qualifications for this mission. A mission you now near the end of. Behold!
Awesome. I just got one question. Where'd this thing come from?
It was here all along, Johnny Storm. You are close enough that it is now visible. Now it is vulnerable. This is the most important and dangerous part of your journey. You must use your weapon against this device, and ultimately nullify it. Sue faces the four-armed thing.
What took you so long, Gruesome? Have trouble figuring out the laws of gravity?
He picks up the fantastic card.
Very strong. Big deal. Me, I'm more impressed with a man's mind than his muscles. Give me 4 eyes over 4 arms any day.
The thing smashes the car into where Sue is. She is unharmed. Same old Rocky, relying on strong-arm tactics. Blast! And the thing of it is, it always works. There goes the force field belt I just slipped on. The thing charges her, but a tentacle slips her out of its way. Sorry, old friend, but if she's going to be in anyone's arms, allow me, Sue. It's the least I can do, since their distraction gave me the time I needed to slip on Octavius's anima tentacles. 4 extendable metal tentacles carry Reed and Sue to safety. If you want to tear us limb from limb, Ben, you'll have to do it on the roof.
Over here, Rocky. You're right, Reed. He's very determined, and angry enough now to tear apart an Omega Guard battleship.
We can only hope, Sue. Reed continues to lure the thing with the tentacles.
You rubble-encrusted miscreant, you have destroyed my Terra Matrix. For that you shall pay the ultimate price.
Galactiac reaches for the thing who has destroyed an essential part of his machine.
Now, Red Storm, strike now with all your might, regardless of the cost.
I always wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. The Silver Racer appears and flies at Galactiac.
I will stand idle no longer. I bring death to one who has evaded my touch longer than most.
I'll be super amalgamated. That light. Blinding. Sue. Where are you, Sue? Is anyone there? Sue? Johnny? Rocky. Good Lord. This isn't what I wanted to see when my vision cleared.
Everything's still out of focus. Is he?
Feels like someone sandblasted every blamed inch of me. Ought to be a law.
I'd say he's fine, Sue. What's Galactiac doing?
Nothing. Seems frozen in place. Totally immobilized. No telling. Wait!
Shh. Galactiac's head launches off of his body and flies away.
Foolish life forms. Did you think I would not have backup systems to my main neural junction? I am far too weak in this form to exact retribution, but rest assured, you have not heard the last of Galactiac.
Well, then you ain't heard the last of the challenge of the Fantastic either, pal. That's right, Ben. And next time, we'll be fully prepared.
You know, Prof, I remember being that thing, and I was thinking, if you could chain me back into it somehow, but with me in control,
it would be a perfect defense against Galactiac, and useful on other missions. I'll find a way to do it, old friend. I swear.
Lots of language, Prof. I'm still young and impressionable. Not like that's how I feel right now. I found Red in a room down below, almost in a trance. He's weak, but unhurt.
And it's time to shoot off some fireworks, Doc. That crazy computer of yours was all wrong. Galactiac turned tail, and not one of us bought it.
Guess again, Rock. We'll have to send my Stormtrooper clone inside Galactiac using my mind so the little guy had a chance against the virtual death traps in there. Thought it was game over for both of us when he gave the neural junction a bad case of meltdown, but the Silver Racer must have come just to claim this one tiny, brave soul.
Why not? He was the biggest hero of all today.
True, but I think the Racer was trying to help us too. Does anyone know what happened to him? Yes. I knew when I monitored the Racer falling to Earth that it was time to make my move. Now, his power is mine. The Challengers proudly claim to live on borrowed time, but their time is up. Now the Dr. Doomsday possesses the touch of death.
Next, Ace fights alone in The Killer Skies. Logan begins the issue in its combined secret identity of Patches Malone, Patch being Wolverine's disguise, and Matches Malone being Bruce Wayne's criminal thug identity. Talia Deathstrike, the amalgam of Talia al Ghul and Lady Deathstrike, plots her revenge on Darkclaw. Darkclaw tears through a robotic rogues gallery for training, destroying robots of the Two-Faced Goblin, Cybercroc, Bloodcrow, Spiral Harley, the Omega Beast, and Hyena. Two-Face and Hyena, Cyber and Killer Croc, I Don't Know and Scarecrow, Spiral and Harley Quinn, Omega Red, the KG Beast, Joker and Sabretooth.
Die!
Talia! My God, your arms!
It was so pitifully easy to break in here, Logan. Your defense systems, your code words, all follow your private obsessions so closely. I know your secrets, my love.
Stop, Talia! I don't want to hurt you.
Deathstrike and Darkclaw fight in the Barrow.
Like you didn't want to hurt my father?
Roz gave me no choice.
Sparrow is tied up in the background, near the mounted costume of the first Sparrow.
That virus would have slaughtered all the mutants on Earth. All of them, Talia.
Shh. Darkclaw throws Talia into the case, and she leaps at him.
Even you. Your father was willing to sacrifice you for his insane dream.
You cannot stop your lies, can you? But I will stop them. I will stop you!
You don't want this, darling. We loved each other once.
Love? Is that what you feel for the one who murdered your father?
Enough! I understand what you need, even if you don't. You're not facing me tonight. You're facing yourself. You're finding out what's truly inside you. Darkness or light. Love or hate. So go on. Whatever you decide, I won't try to stop you. Choose who you are, Talia. Choose.
Ah!
Huh.
Talia stabs Darkclaw through the chest.
Surprised me there. Didn't really think you had a death strike in you.
Darkclaw collapses to the floor.
Goodbye, my love.
There are tears in Sparrow's eyes as Talia cuts her gag free.
Now what? You gonna kill me now? No. You're an innocent. I still have that much honor. My father is dead. Now Logan is dead. There's nothing left to do but remove the last part of me still truly human. My heart. I would give anything to change the last 2 years, to bring them back.
Anything?
Beloved, you're alive.
Maybe. But we're still negotiating. You said you'd give anything?
I sliced through your heart. I felt it.
Tell me about it. It's gonna sting like crazy for a week. But my healing factor makes it harder than blazes to take me all the way out. I always figured you and I were the same, Talia. And if I was ever face to face with the one who shot my parents, it could only go one of two ways. Either I wouldn't kill him, or I'd regret for the rest of my life that I had. My mind was nothing but fire and pain till I sorted at least that much out. You needed to learn. Congratulations, darling. Now you're ready for the rest of your life.
My father still lies dead, beloved.
I know. I'd give anything to change that myself.
Hey, could someone untie me?
The end. We already covered X-Patrol, and this one is actually even worse. Moving on. Generation Hex is just a western with mutants plugged in, the amalgam of Jonah Hex and Generation X, a teen mutant team led by Jubilee. Written by Peter Milligan, this one is actually not bad, but I feel like you get the concept already. Iron Lantern is, of course, the amalgamation of Iron Man and Green Lantern. Our story opens somewhere in the uncharted vastness of deep space, where we find... I sensed your approach from 3 parsecs away, my human servant, and see in your thoughts that you have been victorious. Come forward, then, and deliver your burden to Oa, the living planet. Keep your atmosphere on, Oa, flying as fast as I can. For the umpteenth time, Iron Lantern is nobody's servant. Yes, our story starts here, but it won't end here. Iron Lantern's got to skedaddle back to Earth in time for a showdown at Stark Aircraft. And now that you're finished applauding, turn the page, quick. You don't want to miss a moment of the awesome action that awaits. As Iron Lantern descends to the surface of Oa, he's gone silent again, which is fine with me. I don't care much for his servant talk, but Hector here, the highly evolved creature totally oriented on revenge, is one of the deadliest beings alive. And no one's better equipped to keep him in prison than Oa. Why, if I had managed to fell him at the last moment by reversing the polarity of his ion cannon, he and the weapons of AIM would be ruling Earth right now. As shown in the Iron Lantern Mariner special, don't tell us you missed it, we'd be simply heartbroken.
Curse you, Iron Lantern. You won't keep me here forever, and when I escape again, you'll be my first target.
You know the address, Heck. I'll be waiting. Now pipe down, while Oa absorbs you into his prison levels. And once Hector has vanished beneath the surface, well, that's that. No need to stick around. Not once I've taken care of a little business at the Central Power Battery. Iron Lantern bathes in the emerald light, recharging his armor. And as he does so, his thoughts turn to his enigmatic benefactor, as they so often do. Someday, maybe, I'll learn just who Oa is, why he grants me power, whether he has other agents like me, what my connection is to the human lantern of World War II. But not today. I've got business back on Earth. Urgent business. At that moment, high above. Earth. I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing it from space. I never really expected I'd make it up here. Till that one fateful day that changed my life forever. I'd been making modifications to a stationary flight simulator at Stark Aircraft when it suddenly took off, with me in it. I was swiftly drawn toward what looked like a craft spacecraft, but before I got there, the energy levitating me cut off, and I crashed mere yards away from the alien craft. Badly injured, jagged metal piercing my chest, I managed to drag myself to the ship, where I found the corpse of an alien being. A being I later learned to be named Roman Sir. Whatever the alien had brought me here for, he died before I could accomplish it. But I managed to keep myself alive, used the alien technology to build myself a suit of armor that would keep my heart beating, powered by the lantern-like battery I found in the wreckage. Wearing the armor, I managed to fight off the aliens who'd shot Sir's ship down in the process, making a public splash and earning a reputation as Iron Lantern. So much has changed since then, and... Wait, what's that? Hal Stark returns to Earth just in time to rescue Piper Ferris and her crashing jet from an act of sabotage. In addition to the suit, he can create Green Lantern constructs, and he catches the jet with a giant pillow. Later, at a fancy dress ball, Piper hears her father, the company's owner, blame her gender for her failure in the test, and storms out in anger. Her father sends Kyle O'Brien after her, but he has other plans. Piper wanders into the woods, finds a gem, and is soon overtaken by an alien entity and becomes the villain, Madame Sapphire. Kyle is busy breaking into Hal Stark's hidden lab to take the power of Iron Lantern for himself. He once served in the hero's place and will now do anything to regain that power. Meanwhile, Madame Sapphire attacks her father's vent with the giant robotic sharp man, Great White. Nearby, in Hal Stark's private office. Great White! From the glance I got, someone else was with him, but I bolted back here before I recognized him. The plant guards can see to getting the gas evacuated, but when it comes to Great White, they're going to need some help. Computer, security recognition code, in brightest day. Code received, countersign issued, in blackest night. Second recognition parameter, no evil shall escape my sight. Identity confirmed, blacking out all windows and unlocking armor compartment. Then sometimes I had to wear this to keep my heart beating, but I don't seem to be able to get away from it, do I? Open up in there, Stark. I saw you go in. You can't hide from me. Fine. Gardner, Gyrick, break it down. Our Mr. Stark may think it's all right to cower in his office like a frightened child, but he's responsible for the safety of all these people, and if he thinks I'm going to let him get away with this, he's got another thing coming. They burst into the office and find it empty. Blast it, where's he gotten to now? For the answer to that question, Senator, we direct your attention to Hangar 10 as a gleaming figure rockets onto the scene. Great White, stop this destruction before I stop you! This makes no sense. Great White's a mechanical being. He was deactivated after his last defeat. He can't just wake up, unless he was woken up by that other figure I briefly glimpsed. I'm starting to get a sinking feeling as to just who that figure was. Iron Lantern dodges Great White's eye-beams. Looking for me, lover? Looking for me, lover? I've got a get reacquainted gift for you, but I don't think you're going to like it. What? Madame Sapphire? This is insane. Pepper's become Madame Sapphire again. I can't even try to save her. Because as dangerous as she is, Great White's the more immediate threat. My best bet is to endure her attack, to let her think she's defeated me. Didn't like that, did you, Lantern? And tell me, did it feel like a kiss or a slap? And when I'm far enough away from her, I can turn my attention to Great White, using my lantern's beam to create a booster rocket before either of them realizes what's going on. Causing just a little too much, GW, so I'm afraid I'll have to skip the formality of a countdown. When I ask you to step outside, way outside, the rocket carries Great White into orbit. Unbelievable. We're on the fringes of space. There's barely any air at all to let sound travel, and I can still hear him. He must be furious, or as furious as a giant killer robot can get, at least. Uh-oh. I underestimated his strength when whipping up that harness. He's broken free, and he's as capable of maneuvering in near vacuum as I am. He'll head right back for Earth unless... Sorry, GW, but I can't allow this. Concentrating, Iron Lantern feels the emerald energy that powers him flow outward from his armored form, creating a second layer of armor around him, one that grows larger and larger. You want a nice big target to direct your anger toward. Stick with me. The giant Iron Lantern grabs Great White and throws him further into space. Madame Sapphire kidnaps Piper's father while Iron Lantern fights Great White in his giant form. As he wrestles with the huge robot, Kyle O'Brien fights off Hal's friends near the lantern battery that powers his suit. Shut up! Shut up your stupid, stinking mouth! I'm sick of people treating me like a nobody, like an assistant, a substitute, a nothing. And after tonight, this is it. Gotta pour on the speed. Hit him hard. Nobody's ever gonna call me substitute again. Bleh. Power disconnect. What? Someone's disconnected the power battery. The suit. It's switching to emergency reserve power. Can't maintain giant form any longer. But I won't run. I can't. If Great White's allowed to run unchecked on Earth, he'll kill millions. One chance. It's risky, but I've got to take it. Iron Lantern flies into Great White's mouth. I did it. Destroyed him from within, where he's most vulnerable, but used all my reserve power. Nothing left. And as Iron Lantern feels the tug of gravity, pulling him downward, dragging him toward the Earth below. On that Earth, a few threads are still dangling, whether it's outside the hidden battery chamber. Happy, come on, Happy, talk to me. You okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. But Hal's in trouble. Just beyond the main gate. Look at that, a shooting star. Too bad, I've already got my wish, and nobody's taking it away from me. Or in the desert to the east of Coast City. Where are you taking me? Silence, Senator, unless, instead of getting a well-deserved lesson in etiquette, you'd rather make an impact crater bigger than that meteorite's about to. But those threads have two things in common. First, in the heart of that shooting star. I guess this is it. I can feel my armor starting to melt. Happy, Pepper, Stu, I'm sorry for all the times I messed up. Wish I could have done more. And finally, on the dark side of the moon, where we find a face we haven't seen before, but one that had a great deal to do with recent events. It's almost too easy. Sabotaging their efforts in order to keep them distracted, bringing them all together, turning that lout O'Brien into my agent, awakening Madame Sapphire. And the fool never suspected. And now, he's fallen, just like the rest of them. One more pawn of Oa, crushed and broken, in the hands of Mandarin Estro. Next, the mastermind revealed, but had to come too late, be here for the final showdown. The story we had to call, Oh, Bring Back My Lantern to Me. Honestly, JLX Unleashed is just more of the same, but now the government has approved Sentinels to hunt down all the mutants. Things seem bleak for our heroes, but in this issue Amazon changes sides and admits to her mutant heritage, becoming the new big gun of the JLX. It's a fine story, but I just don't have room for it. Not when coming up next is Lobo the Duck. Lobo the Duck is the amalgam of Lobo and Howard the Duck, both often more comedic characters from both companies. Though Lobo can often be used as a normal hero or villain in the universe, his own books often had a dark sense of humor. Now, I don't know much about Howard's comic, but Howard the Duck is a far, far better movie than people give it credit for, and it deserves its own defense video. Someday. Friggin' wah! Manhattan stands in ruins. Flames flicker where once people networked. The rich men's towers are gone, as are the poor men's towers, although these guys were only relatively poor. They were still quite rich. Like, how many towers do you got? Flames flicker where once people networked. The rich men's towers are gone, as are the poor men's towers. Though these guys are only relatively poor, they were still quite rich. Like, how many towers have you got? And over the grim scene hovers the unmistakable stench of death by roasting. It's all coming back to me. The Offending Society hired me to help them in their battle against the mystery villain who's destroying the world city by fragging city. See Giant-Sized Bat Thing number 69. But after we defeated Green Skull and Thanoside, we discovered they were only pawns in the plot. We hurried back to our Manhattan HQ, only to be consumed by a monstrous fireball of Origin Mysterioso. Doc Strangefate? Your spirit can come back now, Doc. The danger's over. Doc? He's dead. Burned to a crisp. And the others, Skulk, Vicky Valkyrie, and Hawk. There goes his cook, too. Yuck. Serves the goody bastard just right. I never liked him anyway. Still, they did pay me up front to track down this ultimate supreme bastard Spado. Lobo's a duck of his word. Better get on with it. Then maybe I'll get to go home. Any idea who did this to you, pal? Kid, Lay. Though I can call no other heroes for help neither. The flash effect has burned their images onto the wall and turned them into dust. Not only that, my fragging Impossible Dog has changed into characters that don't even exist in this universe. Manhattan trashed, the heroes dead, the Impossible Dog violating the very laws of continuity, and once again the fate of our fragile planet Earth rests on the stringy shoulders of a psychotic duck. What am I gonna do?
Guess the diner's open. I could sure use a beer.
But even as our hero sets off, cold eyes watch him from the charred shadows.
Pop. The duck still lives. No matter. Though our master, Dr. Bongface, is imprisoned in a spanglite cage on the moon. See issue 35, Lobo the Duck magazine. The destruction of Manhattan will paradoxically give him the power to break free. And then, tremble, O universe. Also, tremble, O duck, 'cause the duck's got a score to settle with you.
Why does he need the bodies of dead superheroes?
Hey, I'm a simple henchman, not no criminal genius.
Lobo is occulted by the amalgam of ambush bug and something at his local diner.
So don't get in my way, boy. Want to see how we treats fowl where I come from? First we shoots 'em, then we plucks 'em, and then we eats 'em. Ha ha! I've heard those cutesy eyes, cutesy pies. Danged if I don't feel a certain murkish violence coming on. Want to know how he treats chumps where I come from, Looney? First we mollificates them till they're dazed, then we stomps them till they're tender. Then we add the splotch of ketchup. Ah! You can guess the rest, right?
Lobo the duck has eaten the interloper.
How'd you like them onions, huh?
Squee, you're so tough. Ooh, let me feel your feathers.
Pardon me, but aren't you supposed to be saving the world?
Later, guy. Ruffle it like you mean it, babe.
High-tech gravity labs of New York City. You know, you readers out there don't realize how lucky you are. Like, you have the right to pursue liberty and happiness, to live in three-dimensional solidity, and to expect simple day-to-day continuity. But take me and Ron here. We work in the labs, but we're no scientists, so we don't get any special character treatment. We're just working-class stiffs created on a whim. Patsies who will be rubbed out after a few brief panels of life, just to emphasize how bad the bad guys are. What did I tell you?
Our leader requires this gravity machine. How do we operate it?
I don't know, I swear. But please, don't shoot. I might have a wife and kids.
So long, Ron. Do your worst. You'll get nothing from me. You'll kill me whatever I say. It's the only reason I exist. Bring him. Our glorious leader has ways of making him talk.
Well, I never.
It's okay. You could turn the page. Forget about me. Maybe one day you'll remember me. Born to die. Bleeding to death on a hostile world.
Lobo continues to eat, drink, and carouse his way across the city until he is tracked down by his girlfriend, Beverleen.
Oh, Lobo. Oh, Jonas. I drove Lobo away and now I'm half crazy with worry. What if he does something foolish? Have you seen him? Lobo! You rotten womanizing swine! I was gonna forgive you, but you've the morals of a snail.
Beverleen finds Lobo with even more alien girls and beats him up.
Sorry, love. He's just so darn cute.
Sheesh. This is fragging ridiculous. Somehow I know the key to this whole shebang is locked up in my own head. Maybe I didn't lose my memory. Maybe they put an amnesia block on me.
They did. See giant-sized bat thing number 3.
But how would I know if I can't remember?
Lobo looks at himself in a broken mirror.
Remember, you no-good bastard. Remember, or I'll punch you into pulp that strain you through a sieve. You'll never eat eggs in this town again. You're one dead duck.
Okay, I'll talk.
He intimidates his reflection into revealing what his memory has been hiding. The identity of the villain, Gold Kidney Lady. Having finally remembered the villain's name, Lobo rides in on a wave of death and destruction dealt from the bill of his space cycle, attacking the Kidney Lady and her kidnoid minions. Lobo dives into a crowd, slashing with his hook and knife, fragging everything in sight. The Kidney Lady makes a run for a large lever, and Lobo hits her with his hook and chain.
I'm not finished yet.
You will be when I'm finished with you. Quacker, 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 quacker. Yeehaw, world. Consider yourself saved. Dead again.
Kidney Lady's body falls directly on the lever. The graviton out of her potent rays arc through space, instantly creating a negative force field around the stadium. Irresistibly attracted by the collapsed gravity units, the moon itself, yes, Luna, whose beams have lit the threatening night since man had sex in caves, careens earthward at impossible speed, and total murkish oblivion. Wah! Next issue. Are you ready for the God thing? You better be, 'cause Earth might not survive without him. Be here in 34. Don't tell Mom the bounty hunter's dead. This is also more of the same. Moving on.
Here, the new concepts being amalgamated are the Legion of Superheroes and Marvel's 2099 Space Heroes, the Galactic Guardians. There are many, many versions of the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is likely not from anyone that you know. Spider-Boy is fighting the Scab-Ultra, amalgam of the Vulture and Scavenger, a Superboy villain, and about to be hit by a laser beam when he is transported to the far future of 2099 and greeted by the Legion of Galactic Guardians. Oh, for Pete's sake, I give up. If you know who these are made from, nerd points for you. But there's more than one of these roll calls this issue, and we don't have all day. But I had to include them because this issue is hilarious. Spider-Boy, meet the Legion of Galactic Guardians 2099. Vance Cosmic, Martin X5, Living Lightning Lass, Sunlord, Cannon Fire, Multiple Maid, Growing Boy, Ladybug, Dream Date, Invisible Girl, Paste Eater Pete, Timberwolf by Night, Star Charlie, Shadow Star, Phantom Cat, Chameleon, Fantastic Lad, Bouncing Ball, Molecule Lad, Universe Boy, Living Lightning Lad, and Psy Girl. The Legion base is soon attacked and the Times Square is destroyed, but luckily a new one appears with a mysterious stranger who offers Spider-Boy an escape, which he takes. After a brief visit to a bleak future after chronal collapse has occurred, he is returned to a new version of 2099 and greeted by a different version of the Legion. Spider-Boy, meet the Legion of Galactic Guardians 2099. Vance Cosmic, Psy Girl, Lectron, Sparkler, Universe Boy, Martin X5, Myriad, Chameleon, Living Colossus, Ladybug, Invisible Girl, Phonetics, XL, Nucleus, Mass, Darkstar, and Phantom Cat. Talk about deja vu. Did I cause this? I haven't seen a reality reboot like this since the time Doc Alternity respun the Infinity Loop in the unforgettable Secret Crisis of the Infinity Hour number 10. No, wait, wasn't everyone supposed to have forgotten that? Rebooted Ralphie. Oh well, at least there are fewer of these guys to keep track of in this future. I suppose you brought me here to tell me what an inspiration I've been? What would be the point of that? This version of the Legion helps Spider-Boy get back to his own time before anything else can go wrong, and his warning of his doom has given him just enough time to avoid it upon his return. However, the battle soon claims another victim as a young boy is struck by a stray energy blast. A set of time-lost Legion Guardians in the present reveal themselves, a third version, and they give Spider-Boy a flight ring, and he flies the injured kid to Project Cadmus, where all Spider-Boy can do is send the boy to the Phantom Negative Zone to halt the progress of his injuries. The Legion say he has ensured the existence of one of 2099's greatest heroes. A time-traveling villain appears and grabs Spider-Boy and begins pulling him apart into his separate personas of Superboy and Spider-Man. Just then, a future version of Spider-Boy arrives and rescues the present one. They unveil the villain Kronos Tut and collapse his limbo dimension.
Miguel? Then, if you're here, your plan worked, Marty, just as you figured.
Plan? What plan?
We had Miguel here held back in reserve, in case our old enemy, the Time Conqueror, attacked.
Which he did.
You were right, Marty. I was able to home right in on his limbo generator. Hey, you're Miguel Gand. You can call me Spider-Boy 2099. But I just stuck you in the zone. Right. In about 10 decades, Marty here will pull me out and cure me with a spider DNA serum, based on research you'll start someday.
I will?
You created your own salvation, Spider-Boy. Miguel was able to transport into limbo thanks to his years of exposure to the transchronal energies of the Phantom Negative Zone.
Uh-huh. Wish we could stay longer, but we have to split before we trigger a, you know.
But you have a wild life ahead of you, SB. I watched it all from the zone.
You did? Then I'm not dying anytime soon? No way. Of course, once you marry, your career's never quite the same again.
Is that good or
bad? Nuts. I bet stuff like this never happens to Super Soldier. Next issue, guest stars galore at the event of the millennium. You must not miss. Member of the Webbing. The soldiers here are an amalgam of DC's Sergeant Rock and Marvel's Howling Commandos, two World War II mainstays. Super Soldier, fighting legend of World War II. Deadly Cargo. A classic from the Golden Amalgam Age of Comics. February 1942. Metropolis. The All-Star Winners Squadron meet at its Midtown clubhouse. Sorry I'm late, Winners, but I've just come from Washington. A mission briefing. I have to follow a consignment of stolen government equipment being smuggled overseas.
Oh, overseas? But, what could make it so important?
I wasn't informed, American Belle. Besides, I couldn't tell you even if I knew. It's an official secret.
I'm sorry, Super Soldier. I shouldn't pry. I'm just concerned about you.
Need a hand, SS? Do things quicker?
Yeah, you can count me and the young commandos in, too. Brooklyn Barnes, you're incorrigible. Anything to skip school.
Thanks, Wiz, Brooklyn. But this mission's undercover. Say, what's burning?
Human lantern. Kitchen.
Yes, and look, I've turned the power of my mystic flame to a new use. Dig in, gang.
Wow, cake. Gimme.
Aquamariner does not eat cake.
No thanks, Lantern. On a diet.
Super Soldier, won't you? Sorry, Lantern. I have to go now. My ship sails at noon.
Hurry back. Bet you get seasick. Kick a naughty for me, will you? I'll miss you, Super Soldier.
I'll miss you too, friends. But as long as this war is on, I must go where America needs me. Which means that right now, I have to change into Clark Kent, frontline artist for the Daily Planet, and meet Jimmy Olsen at the Naval Dockyard for an undercover assignment. Super Soldier accompanies some soldiers on their way to the front and clears obstacles such as icebergs from the ship's path. At the enemy base, they deploy a massive war wheel against them. The Nazis gun down Peggy, a French resistance fighter, but when Super Soldier arrives, he stops the wheel in its tracks and lifts it above his head. He dumps out the soldiers and then flies Peggy to medical attention while the soldiers invade the base. Luthor evades them in a submarine, along with Baron Zemo, and their plans for a giant robot powered by an alien metal. Thorion of the new Asgods is the amalgam of Orion and Thor. Orion is Darkseid's son, raised by a Highfather of New Genesis as part of a peace pact in which the leaders traded sons. The final conflict between the gods and the forces of evil. Judgment writ in thunder and blood. Did you think to find Odin ill-prepared for this day? Is Odin not also called the All-Wise?
There is no preparation for this day. There is only death. Death to Odin One-Eye. The end of all.
Not so. Know you this. On this day has Odin struck a long bargain for alliance. This day will bring not an ending, but a new beginning. Behold! Behold the source! A hand seeming to come from the cosmos itself reaches out and crushes everything, restarting existence with a new Big Bang. There came a time when the old gods changed. The Blasted Lands, year one of the new order. Know me, minions of the Dark Lord. I am the resurrected one, the light that fears no darkness. The astral force is mine, to wield by birthright. Know this, that when your accursed master demands to know whose hand it was that turned you back, tell him it was Thorion the Hunter. The Promethean giants, Ymir of the frozen wastes, Surtur, lord of all things infernal, Kalibak the thrice damned, Mangog, also called Dark Harbinger, the architects of the End Day, bound to the living rock of the ego mass held in stasis by the power of the source. Loke, the dispossessed son of Highfather, takes revenge on his half-brother Thorion and all of reality when he unleashes primal energies in an attempt to destroy the universe. Instead, Thorion absorbs the cosmic energies, protecting reality but evolving him beyond the form of flesh into an energy being. Epilogue. There was no longer a fit place for him in all the twin realms, not in seething apocalypse, nor in gleaming new Asgard. Both were denied him. There were those who honored his sacrifice, those who cursed it, those who mourned it, and those who made of it the stuff of legend. The energies released that day lit the firmament surrounding the twin realms for days after. Within that coruscating mass, he was born anew. The combined energies of the infinity essence and the astro force irradiated him, shaping him, made of him a being of living energy. His ship and his armor he fashioned from the ego mass. His form found the giants once bound there. Once called Thorion, the resurrected one, god of thunder, he would forevermore be known as the Celestial. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed this showcase of the Amalgam comics. And as I said, I had to leave a ton of great stuff on the floor for this one. I hope you can see the teams were just having a ton of fun creating these. And I have to again mention, every one of these comics had a fake letter columns page with fake letters from the fake audience of these fake comics, oddly enough written and drawn by doppelgangers of actual creators. They didn't want to mess with the actual credits. I have to respect that. And the copyright info gives away who actually published what. But they hold the illusion for as long as they can, and I see it as one huge work of metafiction. The intention of both of these amalgams and DC vs. Marvel were the same, not for either side to win or lose fans, but rather for both sides to share them. For readers to come in with knowledge and affinity for one universe, and then to recognize the pieces of theirs, and to gain an appreciation for those of the other side, which they're newly exposed to. I didn't know much about Marvel when I read these back in the 90s, and I can tell you I enjoy them a lot more now that I get most of the other half of the references. As with all my videos, I hope I've encouraged some of you out there to explore a little deeper into the comics world of the past.
And I genuinely hope those people, if they do, find something they love. That's really what this is all about. If you don't see an upload next weekend, it'll be because I'm working on a larger episode than usual, and it'll be up the weekend after that. I really should switch to a bi-weekly release schedule. I wanted to build up a library quickly to this point, but now I might be overloading people's schedules as well as my own. We'll see. Till next time, thanks for watching.